right now, what you're competing against, you're right, you're competing against influencers, but more than that, you're competing for attention, right? So we used to say that the most important asset that you have as a brand, as a business person, as an entrepreneur is your time. But in reality, it's the attention. People have time. People binge watch Netflix
Mhm.
shows, right? Hours and hours and hours on end. I'm not saying I'm guilty,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying I'm not guilty either. So people do have the time. It's just about the attention, right? So where are they focusing their attention? Now, when it comes to influencers and content creators, they've done something really, really brave, but and really creative and really well, which was talking to their audience peer to peer from an authentic way, right? So especially during COVID, when everybody hopped on TikTok, everybody was just kind of like sharing their thoughts, their dances, their meals, their daily
Hmm.
routines, and people are all of a sudden hopping on TikTok and they're talking to their audience in an authentic way. They're not even putting makeup on. They're just kind of like letting words out without a filter, and their audience started to like that, right? So in comparison, just like you mentioned, I'm switching from that almost like a corporate stiffness where we are, we have processes after processes of like content design, content creation. I know for myself too, when I'm working with brands, right, our content creation has to start with, well, this is the company's branding guidelines and these are the themes and the topics that we agreed on, and everything has to go to the designer and then everything has to be checked and so on. And it just almost becomes like it is pre-planned, and it shows that it's pre-planned. And I think that audiences and social media users, they're just not into that anymore because they don't feel like they're at the same level. They still feel like it's that from me to you. So you asked me, how do you think brands can overcome this challenge? I actually think embracing content creators and influencers and working with them instead of trying to compete against them. Because if you're trying to compete against someone who goes on camera whenever they feel like it, whenever there's something relevant in the news or whenever there's a new trend, and they don't have to wait for
Hmm.
those extra processes of approval from the CMO, the marketing manager, and
Yeah.
so on, and they can just hop on right away and catch on that trend, they're going to win, right? And then these influencers, they have created already an audience that likes them and likes the content they create and likes them for them. So instead of trying to compete with them, don't do that anymore as a brand. I would say embrace it. Work with influencers, develop influencer partnerships, see how you can collaborate so that you can also leverage that influencer's audience that can also be
Hmm.
your audience. I think that's the key.